We're on the banks of the Bolton-Bury-Manchester Canal. It was used a lot in 2020 when people needed to get out from the confines of the house, from the lockdown. If you didn't have a garden, this was an ideal place to come and walk for your 30 minutes that you were allowed to come out for, your 30 minutes of exercise. I'll flip it around so you can see the canal, and you can see how nice and clean it is. Honestly, it's been sort of like done up by the Canal and River Trust people, and they've done a fabulous job. You can see there where there's a bit where they've not quite got round to, but they've done quite a lot. And I'll tell you something, this is a lot of water to clean up. Anyway, what a fabulous job they've done. Anyway, I'm going to show you along this canal a couple of interesting points that I found when I was doing my little walk through lockdown. I hope you find them interesting too. So we'll get on and we'll show you the interesting points at one of the basins of the Bolton-Bury-Manchester Canal. That little area there, that is just a little offshoot, so the coal barges could take coal to the many pits and factories that were on that side of the canal. So they used to go down there, and if you went over to my right, the canal that used to continue all the way into Manchester, Salford and Manchester, and you could sail along to the pits or into Salford, Manchester itself. But what's interesting here is this area here. This is one of 17 locks on this canal. I'll just zoom in for you so you can see it. A bit overgrown at the moment, but this is a staircase canal lock, and what it is, it's got two areas with 3 steps in each area and 2 holding bays. So going up or down, you'd have to navigate 3 locks and 2 staircases to get yourself up to the top of the canal, which is built, well, quite high up there, isn't it? It's higher than you think. Now you can go up the centre of the canal, of the lock, if you're feeling brave. So you can go along this little path here, jump over there, along the path of precariousness, along to this bit of wooden bench, and you'll have to cling on for your life, so you don't fall in. Navigate a shed load of brambles, and then walk up the centre of the canal to the top. Unlike today, we ain't doing that. We are going up the safe path. We're going up this nice safe path over the ridge, up the path that you can't see, but it is there, and we're going to go to the top. Okay, now we're at a very interesting point here. This is where the canal used to split into. The Bolton branch met the Bury branch, and we've got 2 very interesting bridges at the top of here. We've got a very old bridge, which is the original bridge, and we've got half an original plus a bit of new bridge. It's a very interesting bridge. This is the Bolton. I'll flip it round so you can see the right. There is the bridge. That's the original bridge, and this is the Bolton branch of the canal, which unfortunately this part no longer has water in it. But if we go here and down here, you can see where it goes. It used to go to Bolton. You can't travel to Bolton on this canal anymore. You can only get so far, and then it's houses built on where the canal used to be. So this part will never be restored back to its original site. So we'll go back to the other bridge. So up we go, and as you can see it approaching, I can feel you getting this. I can feel it. You're thinking, what the hell is this, Nikki, that you're showing us? What is this bridge? And here we go. As I get a bit closer, I'll walk faster so I get closer quicker. Because, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Meccano Bridge. How fabulous is that? It was designed by a local artist, and then it was built between 2011 and 2012. It was finished in December 2012, but it was deemed too chilly to put in place. So they waited a few months, and in April 2013 it was put in place. There was a grand opening, there was a brass band, there was afternoon tea, and there was giddiness as the Meccano Bridge was put in place. It's proper Meccano as well. It's like 10 times the size of proper Meccano, but it is Meccano. and we're going to walk over it. Here's the nice path. There was a dilapidated wooden bridge here before, so you couldn't cross over the canal here. So they cobbled some money together and made a bridge out of Meccano. And as you can see, it goes over our staircase lock. And down there at the bottom, down there, that little bit of water down there, that's a canal basin. So, and that's where they waited the ships, the boats that went up and down the lock. So we're going to have a little walk. We'll have a walk over here, because not only is a Meccano bridge, but if you bring your butties, you can sit down here on, you can see them, can't you? Yeah, you know what I'm going to show you? Meccano benches. Look at that. You can get on your Meccano, get your butties out, sit on the bench. I'm going to test it out. It's going to be cold. Oh, it's freezing. I'm not sitting down. But yep, Meccano benches. So you can have your lunch and watch a bit of wildlife. And the other interesting thing here is this little thing here. Well, it's not little, it's big. But this point here, as you can see where it says M8, this point here is exactly, we've got 8 miles to Manchester, and it's exactly 8 miles to Bury, and it's exactly 8 miles to Bolton, all by canal. Right, we're on the highest point of the canal here. Down below me, about 300 foot, I'll flip the camera around. As you can see, that, make that a little bit of water out, that is the River Irwell. Nice bit of twinkly, twinkly, sparkly, sparkly in the sunshine. We've got a bit of, looks like what used to be a wall here. And there's a bit of more wall, and down there, I'll zoom in, that bit there, you can just make out, I'll just point if I can with my stick, that bit there. That part of wall used to be up here with me, not down there. And why is the wall not still up there with you? I'll tell you why. Right, so we are in heavy coal mining territory here. If you want to buy a house around here, you have to have a mining survey. You cannot buy a house without a mining survey, and you'd be stupid if you did, because it's just riddled. I mean, I think the tunnels go from like as far to Agecroft to into Walkden, into Bolton. So, and just a bit up there is Lady Shore Colliery. That had 2 pits, that 2 pit heads, and that used to create a bit of damage around here, a few landslides, but they could cope with them. So that's what all that rubble is there. That's part of the brick wall that used to hold the canal in walls in place. And the wall down there, that was built as well. That was like a 100-foot wall, and that was reinforced with railway tracks to really make it sort of like nice and sturdy. But then, oh, and on this canal also, they used to have packet boats. Now on the packet boats, that was like a pleasure trip, and you could get up Bolton, pay your florin or your guinea or whatever it was in those days to pay, and you could get on at Bolton and you could sail all the way to Manchester. It took a whole day. It was fabulous. It's like today, you get on the train at Bolton, it still takes you a whole day to get to Salford. So nothing's changed apart from you just go by rail and not water. Anyway, what happened? So these packet boats, they must have had the worst drivers ever, because this part here, it was like the most damaged part from and it was the packet boat drivers that did it. It wasn't the coal barge people, it was the packet boats. So they stopped the packet boats, said, no, you're bad drivers. You're not coming on my canal anymore because you're causing issues. Off you go, find another way to get to Manchester. So it was just coal barges only. 1936, let's go back to 1936, 6th of July, and kaboom! Kaboom indeed! And the whole thing just collapsed. It just went straight down the valley, 300 foot into the River Irwell. Oh my gosh. And this eyewitness likened it to like the Niagara Falls. He said the noise was horrendous. You've got miles of water gushing down here. There's a boat teetering on the edge. 2 boats went down. That's how the log flume was invented, I reckon. So 2 boats went down. Fortunately, everybody survived. Nobody was killed. No, they might have been a bit injured, but they survived. They survived the trip, which is good. But that horrific breach, that's what stopped the canal being a canal, and they know after that they could no longer use it. So 1936, so we're proper better train travel than we have today. So they will have gone using the trains to transport all the coal rather than the boats. So that's it. That stopped it being a canal. But